So I'm starting a business. It is 23 days after I graduated from the University of Toronto that I am making this announcement. But finally, the time has come. I've talked about it plenty on podcasts about how when I graduate, I love to work for myself. And obviously, as soon as you start the business, you're not necessarily in a point where you can just go with it full time. I'm 21 years old. I still am working a job to sustain my life. But I'm now doing what I said I wanted to do this entire time in university, and that is start my own business and work for myself. And this is day one of my life as an entrepreneur. Now, I don't want to call myself an entrepreneur because, in my opinion, you can only really call yourself that once you've made your first dollar. Now, I've worked with a couple businesses already doing media, but it was more like gig work. It wasn't exactly what I would consider, signing that first client. A lot of entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs know about how important it is to really get that first client in your business. So once again, this is the start of a business journey. It's an overused word. I'm not a huge fan, but that is what it is. When I look back to episode 1 of VOV Podcasts, it is a massive transformation that has taken place over these last 2.5 years. So I'm excited to see where I am in 2.5 years from now when it comes to my business practices. Today, I'm going to be walking you through the landing page that I've created recently. I've been working on it for the past little while. We're just going to go through that, and I'm going to walk you through VOV Media. So welcome aboard. I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff that needs to be improved, but you kind of just got to get going, get started. You can't always push it off to make it perfect. VOV Podcast episode 1 was not perfect, and it's a very common issue that people have when they're trying to get into a new thing is they wait for perfect conditions. It's not a real thing. You just got to get into it. That being said, if you or anybody you know is interested in working with me, interested in working with VOV Media, whether it's for podcast management, social media management for your business, or straight up video editing, these are the 3 services I'm offering to start. Please reach out because I could very much use the support. So let's get into it. VOVmedia.ca. And here's our homepage. Nice smooth transition opening there. Amplify your voice, expand your network. Now, the difference between websites and landing pages, from my understanding, is that landing pages have a sole focus, one singular action that the presentation is trying to convey, trying to get the user, the potential client, to move forward with. In this case, I'm just trying to speak with people. I'm trying to get people to book a call with me or shoot me an email to carter@vovmedia.ca, and we can discuss more about working together that way. So amplify your voice, expand your network. Being listened to is a core desire for most people. And in my opinion, the number one thing that I've gained from my podcast experience is the network. I used to suck at networking. There's a video I'm going to play shortly here, but I've been able to meet so many interesting people from around the world, because you're at a university, it's a pretty diverse place, from all over the world and in all sorts of different industries, which is the coolest thing. There are lots of people who are good at networking, but their network is only constrained to their industry. They know a lot of people within the space that they are a part of. A truly powerful network spans outside of your domain, spans outside of your field. Let's scroll down here. VOV Media is a Toronto-based digital media agency specializing in podcast management, social media management, and video editing. Founder Carter Ponce, it's me, will work with you one-on-one to launch, scale, and systematize a marketing process that relieves stress and saves time. Never worry about brand awareness again. Marketing, brand awareness, these are all things that are incredibly time consuming. They can be overwhelming. I wanted to have relieving stress as the first thing I mention here because everyone is stressed when they're trying to start something big. We're going to scroll down here to my experience. There's a video here that we'll play right now. I'll just full screen it. We can watch this together. I used to suck at connecting with people. It was so bad to the point that in my second year at the University of Toronto, the only friends I had were the people I lived with and the guys on my hockey team. That was until I decided to start my very own student podcast. Overnight, the skill of meeting new people went from being one of my weakest points to one of my strongest. And for you and your business, a podcast helps you connect in 2 very important ways. 1, gives others a better reason to want to talk to you. An opportunity to have your message heard from a captive audience is a much better offer than a 15-minute coffee chat. So many people want media presence, but very few are ever faced with an opportunity to get it. Become their opportunity. Number 2, it serves as an unlimited source of brand awareness. Daily Instagram stories can become exhausting for both you and your followers. So on those days where you're a bit dry for content, it's comforting to know that you have a drafts folder stocked with clips from your most recent interview. On top of this, a podcast is a space to build a stronger bond with your community as they get to know you more personally in the long form, sharpen your communication skills, and establish yourself as an authority in your niche. So if you want to start reaping these benefits now, not next month, not next year, but right now, you can click the button below this video to book a call, or if you're really excited, which you should be because of all the awesome stuff I just said, shoot an email over to carter@vobmedia.ca. And I look forward to hearing from you. Peace out. So there's that video, a little short 90-second clip. On the right side, we have some VOV podcast stats because I think it's very important to show proof. Fantastic quote from Alex Hormozy. Your competitors can copy your offer, but they can't copy your proof. Makes me feel very confident about starting this agency. And it's that 90% of podcasts don't make it past episode 3. And of the 10% that do, 90% of those don't make it past episode 20. So to be in the all-time top 1% of podcasts, you just need to record 21 episodes. And we've done 110 episodes. And we did it at a school that has a reputation for being incredibly introverted, the University of Toronto. These students aren't known as a social bunch. And we were still able to get 99 different guests to interview 97 weeks in a row, gained over 3,000 followers, 8 million plus views, and a lot of community engagement. It was restricted because the podcast was branded around the University of Toronto. It didn't really apply to people outside of that community, but within that community it was well known. I'm not saying the whole school knew it existed, but it was definitely well known to a point where I would get recognized on the street, walking to the library or walking to class. Let's be honest, probably walking to class. I never went to the library that much. Sue me. But yeah, once again, another button here to make it easy for people to take the next step, to book a call and speak with me face to face. Next, we have the plans, the different sorts of plans that I'm offering. Now, there aren't prices listed out here. These are more templates. I have a general idea of the tiers that different entrepreneurs or business owners might want to go for. Yeah, so this is really just more for kind of a roadmap, but when I get on calls with people interested in these services, it's going to be more personalized to them. Some people might want an in-between of the white and green, or an in-between of the green and gold, maybe a mix. They want one thing from the white bundle, one thing from the gold bundle, and you just kind of mix and match that way. So these aren't restrictive plans. This is more just kind of a template. Basically, depending on the amount of resources that a potential client wants to allocate to this project of theirs, they would basically choose which plan works best for them. Each of these buttons, once again, I guess we could click on it, more info, leads you to a Calendly link to book a call with me. Different time slots available. Just a quick 30-minute meeting to talk about the client's vision and move forward from there. Next, we have some testimonials from the businesses I mentioned earlier. I'd already worked with a couple businesses in this space. 2 summers working with our local Junior C lacrosse team doing their social media. Started from zero. That's another interesting thing about my experience, is that with VOV Podcasts, with the Orangeville Northmen, and with Click Digital Empowerment, which is the next company I'm going to get to, each of them started with 0 followers. So I'm really excited to get to work with some people who already have a following of some sort and grow from there. All of these numbers and all of my experience has been with people going from basically the ground up. Now, of course, the Orangeville Northmen are already well known within the town, but they didn't have an Instagram presence, Instagram account, period. So I took them from 0 to 1,000, over 1,000 followers, made some clips that pulled 92,000 views in 2 summers. Wasn't even that many clips. They did quite well, honestly. And yeah, Timeline did in 2 seasons. This is a statement from the president. Carter's creativity for promoting our games and sponsors was the best in our league. We would highly recommend him, as he would be an asset with any organization. He had a longer testimonial than that. There was a lot of nice things he said. I thought that summed it up pretty well, which is very nice. Then recently, earlier this summer, or at the very end of my 4th year, I got an internship. The beautiful thing about this is I didn't even apply for the internship. That's going to be a video for another day. I didn't apply to this internship. The founder of the startup found me through podcasts, which is super cool. So this is Brooke Simone's statement. She's the founder of the tech startup. It's a digital literacy services company, basically helping business owners who might not be as tech savvy get into different digital spaces, whether it's social media or AI automation, this kind of thing. Carter delivered exceptionally high quality video content, a natural communicator and strong presenter. He translated the company's vision into a cohesive brand presence. Flex. Let's go. 0 to 20 subscribers, views, pulled 7,500 views, and that was all in 2 weeks. So that was the first 2 weeks, and it was a short-term internship. So basically just getting the thing launched and off the ground. I didn't stay with the company to scale it further than that. So we scroll down here and we have a slideshow called Connect with Important People. And it's just I believe there's 15 people I've chosen for this slideshow. Could have chosen more. These are just the ones that I thought, represented the group well. Some fantastic people, as I was talking about earlier. The network that you gain from something like a podcast is good in the sense that it doesn't just have to be constrained to your industry or your niche or your field. And even if it does have to be constrained because maybe you want a theme to your podcast, if you want to interview only athletes or only psychology professors, your pitches to meet these people are much more persuasive when you have an asset like a podcast. And then lastly, we can just scroll down here. This is the last little slide. Don't wait. Have your voice heard. Some benefits: build community, master communication, establish authority, and some links to social media accounts to stay connected. So that's the landing page. That's VOV Media. Thanks for watching, tuning in, staying interested. And this is going to be an awesome experience because I'm still working on the rebrand. As I mentioned a couple videos ago, the rebrand's not going to be ready for still quite some time, but the rebrand's going to cost me some money to really get going. So I'm looking forward to working with people who could benefit ton from these sorts of services and some of my experience. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a wild ride. If you want to go check out that landing page for yourself, it is vovmedia.ca. And once again, if you or someone you know could benefit from these services, you think a podcast might be able to elevate your brand in some way, absolutely reach out, whether it's on Instagram, DM me at Voices of Vic, or through the email carter@vovmedia.ca. You can even go to this website and book a call on the first page. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next week. Peace out.